Good evening, everybody. This is Ron Pope with the iGrow Network, and this is the live Q&A webinar. I want to thank you all for being here with me this evening. Here with me, I've got Mr. Mike Green. Mike and I are going to be going back and forth this evening, and it's going to be a little bit different Q&A tonight, guys. We're going to have Brad Moore from the Associate Advisory Board, as well as Martin Regan from the Associate Advisory Board. They'll be answering questions in the background for you. And Mike and I are actually going to be doing a training this evening, which we're looking at transitioning Wednesday nights over to this. We want to teach you guys exactly the simple steps of what it takes to build your business quickly. It's not difficult. It's extremely simple. So while Brad and Martin answer questions, so if you guys have any questions whatsoever, just put them in your chat box. You can start placing them in there now, and they'll be answering your questions in the background as Mike and I go through some of the different things that we want to teach you here tonight. Now, by being here, you guys are going to get a special look at a spreadsheet that Mike has put together for you. One of the things that we realized that we have not been doing over here, while we've been so focused on putting the foundation in place, is we're not talking as much about the money as we should be. And so when people leave the Blitz webinars or they leave the different webinars that we do, not always do they understand. Mike and I, we get it. Okay, I mean, we really understand. We look at the numbers and go, wow, this is massive. But not always will your guys' prospects have that same impression when they leave. So we're going to change that, guys. We're going to start really talking about the money for you guys and explaining, we'll do proper income disclosures and things, but we want you guys and your prospects to understand how much money can really be made here, because I think that's something that's getting missed. So what we want to do is we're going to start off. We're going to walk you guys through the 4-step duplication guide, okay? And then we're going to walk you through the comp plan, and they're going to show you after the comp plan how that all comes together, and Mike's going to use his spreadsheet to really put it into perspective how quickly your income can grow here. But let's start off here with step 1. You guys will find these in your back office. Now, we made some adjustments to this today to make it easier for you guys to understand. Okay, so the one that you're specifically looking at, when you go in your back office, click the download, and that's where you're going to get this one that I'm talking about right now. In the morning, the text that actually comes up when you log in will be updated as well. We got a little bit ahead of our programmers today, but didn't want to wait to get it in the back office. So again, the one I'm about to go through with you is underneath the download button. Okay, so Mike, step 1, send out a pre-written text message to your contacts with your lead capture page link. Mike, talk a little bit about that one and how you see that working.
Wow, how do you say just one step? I got to tell you all the steps at the same time. Let's start with just step 1. Step 1 is knocking down barriers. And I don't want to make it sound like I've been here longer than everybody else, because I know some of you guys have been networking longer than I have. But I got to tell you, one of the biggest barriers that I've noticed in this industry is that people have a hard time going into action. And I actually tested this out just the last couple of days, and I've talked to a number of my friends, and I've asked them, look, if I get you to send out a text, a very, very simple text, okay, and to say 10 of your friends at a time, that's kind of my recommendation. 10 friends at a time, you send a text out. If they call you back, what are you going to do? And I posed it just like that. What are you going to do if they call you back? And most of the responses I got were, I don't know. Now that, and I'm not picking on anybody here, I'm not going to mention any names, but all I can say is I think that's the vast majority of all networkers, that a lot of us have that deer in headlights look like, what am I going to do if somebody starts asking me questions about my program? Because I don't know it as well as Ron Pope or as well as Mike Green or as well as somebody that's been in the program for longer. I just don't know it in depth, so I don't know what I'm going to say when one of my friends calls me back. Now, if you identify that problem, think about that. That means your organization, your downline, they're probably not talking to anybody because they're afraid that someone's going to ask them a question and they don't know the answer to it. Now, I've trained in several different industries in my life. Banking was one of them. I got to tell you, if you didn't know the answer, you didn't want to go stand at the teller line or just sit behind a loan desk or any place else. You wanted all that information first. We're trying to knock down all those barriers to make it simple and something that anybody can do. So the first question becomes, can you simply send out a text? We've given 2 examples there, but I got to be honest with you, you can probably write those even better than I do. The very first one that I wrote that kind of came off the top of my head, in fact, Ron and I kind of threw out there a little bit, but I just, I speak from the heart. And actually the first couple of texts that I sent out said, dude, but it's to people I know, right? So I'm like, dude, you got to check this out. We do this right, we could be free in less than 3 months. Watch this 2-minute video and call me right back. Now that's the one that I sent to a couple, well actually I sent it to 13 different people. By the way, I got 12 people that responded to that text. That's amazing, 12 out of 13. But a couple of them I said, look, I sent you that text, and they did. They watched the video. And I said, now if you send that out to your friends and somebody texts you back or they call you back, what are you going to do? And they're like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. I don't know what I'm going to do, Mike. What do I do? And that brought you to step 2. So I don't want to speed past step 1, but step 1 is simply, can you teach someone that just signed up today into your organization, can you teach them the simplistics of what we're doing and have them send out 10 texts? And I'm going to be honest with you, if you're talking to somebody and they say, well, I don't think I could text my friends, you might be getting them in a deal that's not going to work for them. I mean, there's other things that you can do, and there's internet marketing, and you can go talk to strangers and all kinds of stuff. But man, if you can't send a text out to your friends with a very simple format, a very simple text, and feel comfortable that when the ones that respond, think about this for a second, the ones that respond are the ones that you're going to talk to, the ones that you might just text back and forth with, right? I love texting now. I used to hate texting. I love texting because you can text out to 10 people and have 3 people respond within the first 3 minutes, and you're texting back and forth to all 3 of them at the same time, and you're not having to give a big old long sales pitch. And what you're going to do is you're going to drive them to step 2. Guess what step 2 is? You're going to send them another text. You're going to send them a text that says, you got to get on the next Blitz webinar. Here's the link to register. Okay, so now there might have been a few other texts as you're texting back and forth. They might have called you live or something, but you don't have to describe what we're doing. You just have to show your excitement. You have to show a sense of urgency. You have to drive that, oh my OMG, just like we say in the 2-minute, 22-second video. You've got to have that OMG attitude and say, you've got to look at this right now. Not, I'll look at it when I can. You need to look at this right now. If they say, oh man, I'm busy today, great, text me back tomorrow. And in my opinion, you're done. They looked at the 2-minute, 22-second video. You said you need to go to watch this 30-minute webinar, and they said, or 20 or 25-minute webinar, and they said, well, I can't today. Really, what they said is no. and you can candy coat that any way you want. I'm not telling you to lose that person forever. I'm saying you might want to lose that person for a week or 2.
Yeah, and one of the things that you and I have talked about over here quite a bit, and I want to get people's head around this, is one of the things I talk about on different webinars is being a professional and sorting your people. And this system, the way that it's been put together here, is all about qualifying people. You get them jumping through different hoops, calling you back. They're qualifying themselves. If they don't call you back, guess what? You probably don't have time to call them back because you got all these other people that are calling you because you just blasted your entire contact base. You're qualifying people. You're getting them to jump through the hoops and engage and take that next step, saying, you know what, Mike, I am interested in what you got here. Could you tell me a little bit more?
Well, I got to tell you, I got to tell you a personal story, and some people will think I'm making this up, and if I see Bill in the attendees list, I'll actually open his mic up and I'll let you tell him. I don't think he got sent the text that said go to the 2-minute webinar or the 2-minute lead capture page video, but he did go to a webinar today at 3 o'clock. He went to my webinar at 3 o'clock today. He was on the phone with his sponsor at 3:59. No, the webinar didn't take that long, so I don't know, there was a half an hour there for him maybe to think and scratch his head and say what. But he called the person that invited him to that webinar. He called him. He says, "Hey, can I?" He's a local guy. He's right here in Portland, Idaho, and he says, "Hey, do you think you can get me in front of Mike Green? I want to touch some of that excitement." And I'm not trying to put a feather in my cap, but I got pretty animated today at 3 o'clock. But all I'm going to tell you is it moved him. He came down to the office. Ron, you met him, right? That was
yes,
Bill that came in. He was at the 3 o'clock webinar, and by 4:15 he's sitting in my office saying, "Man, give me more of what you got." That's the response you're looking for. You don't have to pick through the weeds and talk to all the negative people. You shoot out 10 texts. You invite them to watch a 2-minute, 22-second video. Let that do the sorting for you. The ones that like what they saw or are inquisitive enough to say, "Hey, okay, keep talking. What do you got?" Send them to a webinar. When they see the webinar, the only other step they need, I promise you, he came in and said, "So what's the sign-up process look like?" And we talked about the spreadsheet I'm going to share with you guys tonight. His eyes just got wider and wider, WIDE, all right, bigger and bigger. His feet were not touching the ground by the time he left the office. The spreadsheet took him over the top, but our system, our simple system, watch a 2-minute video, drive that person that responds to a webinar. The one that responds to that, you've qualified them enough, they're ready to get started. And when they ask you, well, what do I do next? Inside of the webinar, it says, go into action. We tell them what to do right in that webinar. They need to go into action. Can you send 10 texts out to your friends today? Yeah, I could do that. Great, let's get you signed up. Let's get you started right now. Are you sitting in front of your computer? You are? Good. Go to www.igrownet.com/my username, right? And let's get you signed up right now. You'll have your username when we get done, and you can shoot out some text right now. We'll drive some traffic to the next webinar. We're going to get 3 people signed up to you before the sun goes down today. And that's where you want to go. We call it a 4-step process, but I promise you it feels more like 2 steps. In fact, on the webinar, I call it the 2-step. Shoot out a text to 10 people. They either do or they don't, right? They go to the 2-minute video or not. The ones that go to it and like it, they text you back or they call you back. What are you doing? Say, man, you got to go see this webinar. You got to go see it right now. I'm going to text you a link right now. And I text them the actual link. They say, well, I can't at 3 o'clock, Mike. How about 5? I got a live webinar at 5 o'clock. Man, I'm on the road at 5. I can't do it at 5. All right, are you at home at 7? Yeah, in front of your computer? Great. I'm going to shoot you a link right now for the 7 o'clock webinar. You get on it, call me back, or I'll call you back at 7:30. And you can do the follow-up if you want, but I'm telling you, the person that calls you back after watching that webinar, they're done. They're done. They're going to have a couple of questions. How fast can I make my money back? How do they pay? How often do they pay? What do I do next? What you do next is you do what I just did. I sent out 10 texts today, and I've had 3 people sign up. That's all they want to hear. Can we make money doing that? When you see how this spreadsheet works, and we're going to indoctrinate this spreadsheet right into the presentation that we're doing, you got to give me a little time to get that done, Ron. But I'm telling you, it's game on. You've qualified them to the extent that you need to.
And guys, I want to point one thing out here too. Text 1 or text 2. You just choose one of these. But down here on this step, because we wanted to simplify it and make it so cookie cutter, you send out the first one. Give them the link, okay? If you want them to go into the registration page and choose their own webinar, fine. Mike actually takes a more direct step where, like he just said to you guys, he qualifies. Are you available at 5 o'clock? No. Are you available at 7? Yes. Great. I'm going to send you a link for the 7 o'clock webinar. You just need to register and get in there, okay? So he makes it a little bit more specific. You guys can go that direction or you can get them over to the page. But I like the direction that Mike takes with that. Then, once you send them this, immediately after, or as Mike, he said, you can even send it to them 5-10 minutes before the webinar, you're going to send this other one here. So send this one first, giving them the link to go in and register for the webinar. Then you're going to send this one. By the way, if you're going to view the webinar from your smartphone, download the mobile app. You don't want them to get ready for their webinar, and all of a sudden they're trying to do it on their smartphone because they're not home and they can't get in. Okay? So just follow up with that text. Hey, by the way, if you're going to watch this from your smartphone, you need to download the app. Here's the link for that too. Okay? We've thought this through for you guys. All you need to do is just check off the boxes.
Ron, I got to interject here. I will tell you guys that GoToWebinar is awesome. I can't speak for iPhones, but I can tell you on Android, this is a work of art. You send a text out, right inside the text, that link, your username.igrowtour.com, it's a hot link inside of the text. On an Android, you click that hot link, and I know it works the same on iPhone. I'm just not sure exactly how it looks on an iPhone. I know what it looks like on an iPad because I've done it there too. But I'm telling you, it pops right up, and it says invited by. There's your name up in lights. Now, I went into my last name field in my back office, and I put my phone number in there too. So guess what they're looking at as they're watching this 2-minute and 22-second video? They're staring at my phone number. What did I tell them to do in the original text? It's simple steps. You got to check this out. We do this right, we could be free in less than 3 months. Watch this 2-minute video and call me right back. And they're staring at my phone number. Right inside the lead capture page, because I put my phone number in my last name field in my back office at iGrowNet. It shows up right on that screen as well. So they've got my phone number. They're staring at it. They're going, yeah, Mike told me to call him. Maybe I should. That's to me, it's just kind of that reminder. But check this. The webinar, if they download that app, they can watch the webinar right on their Android or on their iPhone. They just need to download the app first, and that webinar that we do, they don't have to be at home. They could be at a basketball game. They could be out in the parking lot. Honey, we're having dinner, I know, but I got to go watch this webinar real quick. And you leave the kids No, you probably wouldn't do that. Okay, um, but right on your phone. This is, to me, this is awesome. I mean, you got to use all the tools that are at our fingertips right now. And it used to be, we were laughing today. It used to be a VCR tape that we go, hey, you got to watch this. You got to watch this video on this VC. Remember VCRs? Yeah. So we're handing out VHS tapes, right? And then it went to CDs. Well, you got to go plug this in your computer or in your DVD. You know, and now it's, man, it's all at your fingertips. You're walking with your device. Everybody's got a smartphone, right? Almost. And they could watch that right on their smart device from the parking lot, at lunch, you know, and it pulls up right on their phone. Just have them download that app first. And I'm telling you, the two-step, send them a text, 2-minute video, you could be sent into the next webinar. And if that next webinar is going off at noon your time, guess what? They're at their lunch break watching it right on their phone. It's a 30-minute, well, at most 30-minute webinar.
Absolutely. You know what, Mike, as I'm sitting here listening to you talk too, guys, you ever wanted to do business from the beach? You ever wanted to do business while on vacation or anywhere else? This system right here is so duplicatable, so simple. You can simply grab that text, and whenever you have an extra minute, you're just shooting it out, just sending it out to your contacts. I see Dora was asking also, well, what do we do for Facebook or Skype or emails? Use the same thing. Just modify it a little tiny bit. Put it on your Facebook. Send it out via Skype. Send it to all your Skype contacts. Send it to everybody. As we stated, you know, right there, the more exposure that you give your business, the more responses you're going to get. So don't hold back. Send it out to all your contacts. If you got different contacts on Skype or on Facebook than what you got on your phone, hit them all.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, some people have more contacts on their phones than others. But I've been taking a poll, and I'm hearing 300, 500, you know, probably over 1,000. I mean, I'm hearing some big numbers. But if you run through your Rolodex, you know, it might take you, for some, it might take a month or two. Guess what? The ones that didn't respond, just start at the top of your Rolodex again and send them out, you know, a month from now or 2 months from now. But if you have a short contact list on your phone, or you don't keep your phone numbers, you know, on your smartphone, go to Facebook, private message people. Forget about, you know, throwing up a banner ad hoping that somebody's going to click on it. Private message people. And you don't have to do it with a banner ad. Use this. I think Dora asked, can I use this on Facebook? Yeah, use that exact same text. You know, just type it in. Once you've got it done once, copy paste, and it becomes a copy paste job. How many people can you private message today on Facebook? You know, copy paste. They're going to click. They're sitting. They're sitting at their desktop or they're on their phone. Look at their private messages coming in, right? And they click on the link. Guess what? It's going to light whatever they're up. It's going to light it up. Whether they're on their smartphone or on their desktop at home, it's going to light it up with that 2-minute video. And that 2-minute video has just enough sizzle in it. It doesn't give it all away. It has just enough sizzle in it to make somebody say, okay, Dora, if, you know, darn it, you caught my attention. And they either shoot you a text, they private message you back on Facebook and say, what's going on? Your next text, right there on step 2. And with your excitement, you don't need to know everything. You really don't need to know anything. Your excitement's what's going to sell. And when we get to the spreadsheet tonight, all I can tell you is we've got that excitement for you. When you get excited about what you're doing, you're looking for 3 that get 3. Man, I'll tell you what, you're going to, that excitement level in you is what they're going to hear. It's what they're going to see. It's what they're going to want to have a part of. You just get them to the webinar. Let the webinar do the rest of the work for you.
You know, Mike, one of the things that you were saying earlier today, too, that was so important is, you know, guys, if you're working a full-time job or something and you only have so many hours in a day, what a great way to leverage yourself right here, okay? And one of the things that you could even ask people is, the one thing that you need for this to succeed is this: are you coachable? Okay? If you're coachable and you're willing to take action, because we pulled out all the obstacles right here. If you're coachable and you're willing to take a little action, matter of fact, why don't you come over here, sit down with me at my house, or I'll come to your house, and let's just sit down and go through your contacts real quick, and I'll show you how to send out these texts. It's not difficult to do.
I'm looking at questions as you're talking, and Dora says, you know, I've got 27 free affiliates, I think is what she's saying here. You know, I'm looking for 3 to upgrade. I'll tell you, out of the 13 texts that I sent out, some of those people were already in our program as free affiliates. And that didn't stop me from sending them a text. Some of them I was trying to resurrect. Some of them I was trying to say, hey, you know, look, we're moving forward. But instead of having a big old long drawn-out conversation with them and trying to talk them into getting into my program or engage as an associate, I just shot them the link. 2 of them called me back, and I got them re-engaged. There are people that used to be associates, kind of went, you know, sideways, turned left, whatever. Life got busy. We maybe weren't ready for them. They weren't ready for us. But 2 of these people that did contact me back, they're floating on air. They're sending out 10 texts a day right now, and they get it because they
Well, you know what,
can't
Mike?
tell you how many people I'm bumping into that have an issue with trying to recruit because they don't know what to say when they finally get somebody that says, okay, I'm interested. Tell me about your deal. I don't know what to say, so I'm afraid to recruit. This does it for you. It's the two-step. Send out a text. Let them see the 2-minute video. Send out another text. Let them watch the webinar. When they call you back, sign them up. When they ask you questions, say, you know what? If you've watched the webinar, you know just as much as I do. Now, do you want to make some money? And just dead air them. Do you want to make some money? Man, that's yes, I do. I want to make some money. Okay. Can you send out 10 texts today to your friends? Well, sure I can. I text all the time. Okay, let's get you signed up. Let's get your username, and let's get some text going out for you, and watch what happens. And you're done.
Well, one of the things that, if you've got, you talked about, reviving some people, and I know there's folks on the phone that have people in their downlines that they're trying to revive. So you guys could get a little creative with these texts. The whole thing about this is we're just trying to put the tools in your hand to get you guys to a point where you can go ahead and start taking action. You could easily take like text 1, okay? And let's say you have somebody who's inactive underneath you right now. John, you got to check this out. You can't believe what's happening with the iGrow Network and Leafit right now. We do this right, we could be free in less than 3 months. Check out this 2-minute video they just came out with. Maybe John has been in the program for a while, but he's disengaged. He doesn't know anymore. All right, and then after he checks it out and calls you back, he's like, wow, they did a great job on that. Yeah, and then you text them back, yeah, you know what? They've got so many things in line. You got to get onto one of their Blitz webinars. Here's the link to that. It doesn't matter if they've been in the program, if they've gone inactive, they're no longer paying. Get them re-engaged. Okay, and Dora, if you've got affiliates that are free affiliates that are out there, perfect. They've already shown some interest in the in the social network. Now you got to say, hey, listen, check this out, because we've been building the foundation to this point, guys. Now it's time to reach out and say, guys, it's time to run. Check this out. Look what's going on. You can modify these texts here and there just a little bit and make them so effective for so many different purposes.
Yeah, you absolutely don't have to lock into my words, and some people are looking at it going, gotta. You spelled gotta with a G-O-T-T-A. Did you mean to do that? It's a text, guys. Personalize it.
It's a personal touch.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
We did that on purpose. We put gonna, too. Why? BTW. Why are we doing that? Because that's how you would text your friends. Okay? Does it have to be proper English when it's going out through text? No. It just needs to be fun. It needs to be enlightening. It needs to be engaging. Okay? Step 4. Look at step 4. Share this approach with everyone. Everyone. Free affiliates, inactive associates, brand new prospects. It doesn't matter, because this is a brand new process that has not been put out there before. Engage everybody. And then, as Mike likes to say, shampoo, wash, rinse, repeat. Just do it over and over and over again. Literally, guys, you could do this from anywhere. You could be, on the beach. You could be, in your car. Hopefully you're not driving. But any extra time you have, just shoot out a couple of texts. Do you have to sit there and send 20 at one time? No. Do you have to send 10 at one time? No. Send one now, 1.5 an hour. Just, maybe you get time, you send 5 out in a row. Whatever. Just do it. Take action. That's the whole key to success here with the iGrow Network, is just take action. We've broken it down to simplicity for you guys. Mike, let's go ahead and move on past this, unless you got something else you want to talk about with the steps of success.
I'm good. It's that simple. I hate to oversimplify it, but Ron, it's that easy. I don't know what else to say. Can you send a text out? Yes, I can.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to go over an income disclosure, because what you guys are going to start to see is a transition here where, to this point, again, we've been so focused on the foundation, we haven't been really talking about the money, and some of the feedback we get coming back to us is, well, I don't even know what kind of money I can make with this. You know what? We're going to pull those stops out. In each one of our presentations, we're going to start going through an income disclosure, and we're going to go into the money. We're going to show you, we're going to show your prospects, there is a ton of life-changing income here. You can develop a legacy. In order to develop a legacy, it pretty much helps if you can make some money, right? So here's our income disclosure. Your success depends upon your skills, your work efforts, market conditions. Guys, there's no guarantees on these incomes. It's all based on you taking a little bit of action. If you can do what we just showed you on the previous pages, you can be successful here. Now, Mike, I want to walk them through real quick. We haven't been through some of the different income streams, and the reason I'm going to go through this is because when I'm done, I'm going to show them really these pages that look a little complicated. It's going to break right down into one spreadsheet that in minutes is going to blow their mind. So on 9 generations of Unilevel, we all know, right? Affiliates can make a $17 commission on all their personals. You get one personal, opens you up 3 generations deep. Okay, get 3 personals, opens you up 6 generations. 5 personals opens up all 9 generations. What does that mean? Does it equate to something right there? No, we're just going to show you those numbers. Let's move on here. And then we got the 3x9 forced matrix, which I'm going to show you here in a second that we have completely blown the doors off of this. We've expanded it beyond belief. If you weren't on any of the presentations yet this week, the Jumpstart or the iGrow 60, and you haven't seen this yet, I hope you're sitting down, because what we've done is just created a vacuum that's going to pull networkers from all the other companies over here, because we've expanded our matrix beyond belief here, guys. Look at this. You get 1, it opens up 3 generations. Get 3, opens up 6. Get 5, it opens up all 9 generations. We know that. Okay, you guys know that. You went through this before. I'm sure you guys signed up, which meant in this business model, in this matrix model, you were limited to 120,309 a month maximum if you had a completely full matrix. Okay, let's go through this here for a second, because what we've done now, guys, is on December 10th, right here on December 10th, we're going through a matrix refresh. We are going to use dynamic compression to blow your mind. Okay, some of the feedback coming back has been, well, you know, what if my people don't upgrade? Well, if they don't upgrade, let me show you what's going to happen to your business. It's not a negative. Okay, we don't want to lose anybody. From corporate, we're sending out emails letting people know, hey, you need to get re-engaged. All the pieces are in place. It's time to run. Here's your simple steps. If you can do this, you can make a ton of money with us. But look what we're doing here, guys. Let's say that in this example, this person right here, sorry about that. This person right here decides on December 10th that they're not going to go ahead and go ahead and get their account current. Okay, what does that mean? Anyone who has not made a payment in 30 days or more beyond their last renewal date. Okay, they'll be dynamically compressed from the matrix. This does not mean this account will be removed from iGrow Network, just removed from the matrix, and they will permanently lose their matrix downline. So anybody who has, 3 who got 3, their account is free anyways. Okay, they're making at least their $49 a month. So why would they fall out? And if they do, guys, honestly, you should have reached out to them. Okay, I've had people writing in today saying, hey, make sure you guys from corporate are sending out emails. Okay, but this is your team. These are your people. You brought them here. Corporate will do everything possible to help you with that, but honestly, you guys need to be doing it too. Okay? And I'm kind of, rubber meets the road. I'm kind of calling you out a little bit. If you've got people that are inactive in your team, now is the time to reach out and help them get active again. Okay? When an associate reactivates, they'll start. They'll still have their personals. They'll get check matches and they'll get their e-commerce commissions. But the associate will start at the bottom of the matrix. Okay? So they'll go to the bottom. They won't get their team back if they reactivate, if they've lost their spot already. Okay? Once we've done the first one on October 10th, we'll continue to do it on the first Friday of each month. You have to. When you have a matrix, structure like this, if you don't, basically dynamically compress, then what's going to happen is these dead spots, they hurt you guys. Okay? Because think about this. Let's say this guy right here was active, and he had a couple of people underneath him that weren't. And this upline decides to put some people in. Does he really want him to go underneath a dead person that's not even active anymore, that's not doing anything? Because then these people here aren't going to get near the support they could have from here. They won't get any spillover. It's just going to be almost a moot point to put them under there. Okay? So when we bring this compression up, what's going to happen in this is this gentleman here, let's say this guy did not go ahead and keep his account current. He's fine just getting compressed out of the matrix. Look at this. You got 2 left on your front line, right? His 3 right here are going to come up to that your first level. So you have 3 and 2. You now have 5 on your first level. What? I thought this was a 3x9. It's not a 3x9 anymore. It's a 3x9 expandable matrix. So now you have 5. So what does that mean? It means that you are no longer limited to 120,309 max matrix income. It means there are no more limits on your matrix. Okay? Because then these three each have 3 in this assumption here. So they'd have 9 that would come up and add to the 6. Now you have 15 on your second level, 45 on your third. The entire matrix underneath this person comes up with them. We're not shifting the left leg or anything. We're bringing their whole matrix up, guys. Hopefully that's just sunk into you guys. I mean, literally, you could have a matrix a year from now that you have a potential of, $1 million a month in income, because as we go through these different compressions, some will, some won't. Okay, I'm sorry, but so what? You got to sort. You got to work with the folks that want to work with you. Always try and motivate. Never leave anybody behind. We don't want to see anybody purge out. Okay, but if they do, what is it doing to you? It's expanding your income opportunity here, guys. Okay, Mike, do you want to add anything on this page?
OMG. Just the OMG, Ron. I mean, if people start to understand, and I heard that expression the first time, I think it was back in 1994. Some will, some won't, so what next? And it does sound a little bit harsh, but I got to be honest with you guys. You can lead them to the water, but you can't make them drink. And sometimes, I fall into the trap sometimes myself, is I lead them to the water, and then I got their head in it, trying to get them to drink, and it just doesn't work. It never works. So the ones that understand what we're doing, when you see this spreadsheet that I put together for you guys, and I got to give some credit to Corey, one of my guys in my front line. I've known Corey for 20 years now. He said, Mike, when are you going to do one of them? He's from Idaho. Hi, Corey. When are you going to do one of them spreadsheet things for this program? Because you've done them for every other program we've been in, and people need to see the money. And when you see what's available, the person that sees what's available and isn't willing to take the steps, doesn't want to send 10 texts out, doesn't want to do anything, they're looking for a plug and get paid. There is no plug and get paid anymore. It really, you can try and trick yourself and say, sure there is, but really when it comes down to it, network marketing, if you're not out building relationships and helping people get what they want, you're never going to get what you want. So the guy that the lead to the water and they get excited and they say yes, but they're not willing to go into action, don't let them stand in your way, and don't spend a bunch of time and energy working with somebody that isn't willing to help themselves. Now, they can always come back in. They light back up. They can still fit into your matrix. They're going to take that next open spot available in your matrix. And if you're building a monster, okay, they're going to be okay with that. Hopefully they do better the next time around. But all I can tell you is what this opens up is just tremendous, tremendous ability. I mean, to have an unlimited, really an unlimited front line, an unlimited second level, who knows what that, I haven't even done the math on that yet, and I'm a numbered guy. You know how big just a 5 that each have 3, that each have 3, that each have 3, that each have 3, that dollar amount down on that 9th level, I'm afraid to go look at it. It's crazy. I mean, it's OMG. That's all I can say.
Well, you know what, Mike? You talk about the plug and get paid, and a lot of times we avoid the negative in this industry, and I don't want to go negative on this call, but I will say that, a lot of those passive income programs that are out there, I mean, look at some of the largest ones. I mean, there's been some that have had over 1 million people in them, and people get attracted to those because they can just put money up and then, sit back and do nothing and get paid for it, but those go away, guys, okay? And think about the amount of energy that you worry, that you use worrying every night. Is this going to be here tomorrow? Is this going to be here tomorrow? Okay? Or should I be putting my friends and family into this? Gosh, I hope this doesn't go down before they get their money back. Okay? Or you put the energy into bringing people into that program, and then it does go away, and you go, oh man, all that time was wasted. This industry doesn't work. This industry, guys, has made more millionaires than any other industry in history. Okay? This industry works. It's the type of crap that has been brought into this industry that has given it a bad name. So, people are going to drift towards those, are going to be attracted to those types of programs. That's not who we're looking for here. The people that we're looking for at the iGrow Network are folks like yourself that are going to be here, they're going to plant their feet, you're going to build something real that you can pass on to your next generation because we're going to be here. Okay, we're not a fly-by-night company. We're not some little money program that you can sit and do nothing. You got to put some effort in. Little bit of effort at least, guys. If you see those steps, those 4 steps to success that we just went through, that's not difficult to do. If you do it and then you sit down and you work with your people to do it, maybe you spend an hour with them going through text, okay, and just walking them through and getting them plugged in, that's not difficult.
I'll tell you, Ron, we've made it almost plug and play if you're willing to play. But to send a
Oh my
text
goodness.
out and wait and wait for a response, you don't have to follow up if you don't want to. You want to follow up, I think you'd be more effective. But there's gurus out there that will tell you that the money's in the follow up, and I agree to that to a certain extent. But why aren't more people making a whole bunch of money in this industry? Because the vast majority of people don't want to do the follow-up. It's too tedious. It's too cumbersome. There's too much
Hmm.
rejection in it. And the masses just don't end up doing the follow-up. So why don't we work with the people? We've all built a phone roster of people that we know from the past. It doesn't matter how. I got people in my Rolodex on my phone. I call it a Rolodex. You can tell how old I am. But I've got contacts in my list. I don't know who they are. And you know what? It doesn't matter. I've forgotten who they are. And I source mine pretty good. I put in Bob, and in parentheses I put in Corey and Jeff. Well, I know Bob because of Corey and Jeff, and I know Corey and Jeff pretty well. So that's kind of the name association. But you know what? I can't remember which Bob that is. I know a lot of Bobs. But it doesn't matter. I'm still going to send him a text. I'm going to send him a text, and if he responds and he goes, "Who is this?" I'm going to say, "Bob, this is," because I've got it in my in my Rolodex, right? So I'm going to say, "Bob, this is Mike. I'm a friend of Corey and Corey and Jeff's." Oh, Mike Green. Okay. Hey, dude, that was an awesome video. And it doesn't matter if he can't remember me, if I can't remember him. I still got a guy that watched a 2-minute and 22-second video, and he doesn't even know who I am, and he's texting me back. And you gotta love that. You're working with the people that are responding positively. If you're willing to do that, that's about as plug and play as you can get, because you can plug and play that and get paid a whole bunch. You want to do a spreadsheet, Ron? Because we're running out of time.
Yeah, absolutely. We can continue forward here. Okay, so let me show them real quick here on the e-commerce. Obviously, we know free affiliates. They can make 10% on their own personal sales. Associates, 10%, 5 all the way through your 7th, and then 10 on your 8 and 9. IG3K Club, wanted to put this out in front of you guys, doubles all of that. Okay, we know the qualifiers to get into the IG3K. 3,000 people can make it in there. What do you got to do? You got to have your account active, 3 other accounts active. Okay, stay qualified, or it goes on to the next person after 30 days of not being qualified. You get an equal share of the viral installs pool and double e-commerce commissions. I mean, pretty insane here. So, Mike, let's blow some minds. Go ahead and take the screen over, and guys, we're going to make this spreadsheet available to all of you guys, and we're also going to have it programmed into the back office.
Okay, guys, I want you to pay really close attention. We've only got 16 minutes to do this. I can usually do it in 5, but talking to a whole group of people, I want to make sure I don't lose anybody. So we start on this side of the spreadsheet over there. Okay, so start with 3. Start with the simple things. You're going to send out text. What are you looking for? You want to get IG3K qualified, and I'm going to show you why in a second. You'll get a full picture of this. Go find 3 associates, okay? 3 associates. You send them a text. You respond to the ones that respond to that text. You send them to the webinar. They see the webinar. Go sign them up. Get them in. What are you going to make? Right down here. This is your unilevel pay. As Ron just showed that graph, you make $17 for every single person that you personally sign up. So you've got 3 that signed up as associates. You made $51. Where's your 49? I like to tell people this. Look, you do the right things. You send out text like I'm telling you to send out. We'll have 3 people signed up for you before the ink's even dry on your credit card statement, right? Before you even get that thing in the mail, we can have $51 coming back at you. Okay? So start with the simple steps. Let's go get your 3. Now, teach those 3 to get 3, right? So you come down in here, and now those 3 got 3. So you got 9 people on your second level. Okay, you're making $5 off of every single one of those. That's another 45 on top of the 6. Watch the green box down here. That's your monthly income, $51. Now, people are saying, man, $49 a month. There are those that say that, although I think 49 in today's market is, I can't believe everything you get in this company for 49 bucks. But there you go. Your 49's covered. You're getting the education paid for now. Learn how to become a social giant. That's paid for now. All the tools, all the bells, all the whistles. You get Ron and I on a Wednesday night answering all your questions. Paid for, because you've got 9 people in the program. Do that just one more level. Show those 9. Stay involved and help those 9 get their 3. And what have you got? You got 27 people on your 3rd level. Okay. Now, I'm not going to go any further than that. Not right now. Okay. And you're going to look down at this green box. Hopefully, you're keeping an eye on that when you're going to say, well, you know what, Mike? I for $100, really, for $100 a month, and I'm paying $49, I'm still not excited. And that's okay, because most of us aren't. Don't forget your unilevel pay up here. Because of that activity, you have made a total of, that's not monthly now, that's a total of $123. So how do you feel about the $49 that you're spending now? You got more money coming in than going out. That's, you could spend thousands, tens of thousands of dollars running a traditional business and not have a profit for years, right? I've tried that. So is Ron. So anyway, at least you're making some money here. But watch what happens with the viral install pool. Okay, and all we can do is play some what ifs here. But I'm going to say, what if we go broadcast the Terry Bradshaw show, and it generates, I don't know, is that too many zeros? That was too many zeros. I'm sorry. What if it generates 1 million viral installs? People that see that TV show and they go, wow, I'm going to go, I'm on my iPad right now or my iPhone. I'm going to go download that app. Who's going to get those installs? Company's not keeping them. The people that have qualified for IG3K are going to get them. Right now, today, I think we're just over 200. What if that goes to 500? Okay. Well, what are you going to get then? If there's 500 people IG3K qualified, that's 2,000 friends. You don't know them, but they're connected to you. And when we get down to e-commerce, I want you to remember that number. That's a big number. That's not 10 of your friends that found 10 friends that found 10 friends. That's 2,000 people connected to you, and all of their friends connected to them. That's going to blow your e-commerce commissions right just to the moon. Now, what if we hit maybe, I don't know, we're just throwing what ifs out here, right? What if we hit a 2% conversion rate? That means 2% of those 2,000 people wake up, they see that there's this something about being an associate, and they want a piece of that. They want to get paid on their friends and their friends and their friends and their friends. When they generate leads and e-commerce commissions are paid. And they plug into a webinar and they see it and they go, man, I want a piece of that. Just a 2% conversion rate. That's 40 associates that are going into your matrix. But not just your matrix. You've got 13 people IG3K qualified because you worked with your 3. Remember your first 3 that you got? That has you qualified. That's one of those 13. But then you helped your 3 get 3, right? So now you've got your 3 qualified plus the 9 that qualified below that. You've got a total of 13 people IG3K qualified. Do you see what that does for you? That drops 559 people into your matrix. And now you have an $1,145 a month income. And we haven't even started talking about e-commerce yet. Now, I threw this in for you down here. We talk a lot on the webinar, on the Blitz campaign, about 10 friends getting 10 friends, getting 10 friends, getting 10 friends each, right? And you know, 9 generations deep, I know when I do that, every time I do it, people's eyes roll and they go, you know what, that's ever going to happen. I'll challenge you with this. If you start with 2,000 friends, is it just 10 friends that find 10 friends that find 10 friends? Or do we have a better shot here? But let's stay with that thought process. What if it is just 10 friends that each have 10 friends? And let's not go 9 generations deep. Let's go 4 generations deep. Do you see what that just did over here to your income? That's $1,000. Now, how did I get to $1,000? Let's say that the average retail purchase is $40, okay? And Leafit, let's say they make 10% average on the commission that's being paid out. And you're IG3K qualified, so what do you get? If you understand our program, you're not getting 5% from your friends post, you're getting 10% because you're IG3K qualified, double commissions, right? Plus you're getting 20% on those friends down in your 8th and 9th generation. Now that's 40 cents for every $40 retail purchase that's coming in through your circle of friends. And we didn't go 9 generations deep, we went 4 generations deep. And I only threw 10 cents down here. I didn't throw 40 cents, I threw 10 cents. That means you're talking 1 out of 4 people use our mobile application and make a modest $40 a month purchase. Not all of those friends, just 1 out of 4 of them is making a purchase every month. And it's generating another $1,000 a month in your pocket. Now, all I can tell you is that's a $2,000 a month income. And I don't know very many people that if you have the right conversation with them are going to turn down a $2,000 a month income because they simply help build a social network. What do you need to do? What are the steps to success? How about you send out 10 texts today before the next webinar? And then let's send out 10 texts after that. And let's send out 10 more texts tomorrow. We'll do it once in the morning, once in the afternoon, maybe once at night. And we'll send texts out until you have your 3. And if you just teach that simple process, look what happened to you. You taught somebody how to make $2,000 for themselves. Now, all I can tell you is if you can help enough people make $2,000, you're going to rock your own world. Follow this one more step, okay? My personal goal, I'm just going to share some personal stuff with you guys. I'm looking for 6, and I've got 6, but I'm going to help those 6 do exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to help 6 make $2,000 a month. So the matrix would actually look like this. Now, hopefully you're watching the green box down here at the bottom, but all I did is say, you know what, I'm going to work with my 6, and I'm going to make sure I teach them how to get their 3, help those 3 duplicate, so there's 9, and help those 9 get 27. I can teach that. I can teach 6 people to do that. I've been corporate America for years, you guys, and you know what? There's been studies done that will tell even the largest of corporations that the most people you can work with is between 5 and 7. I got to tell you, what's right between 5 and 7? 6. You can work with 6 people. You teach 6 people how to make $2,000 a month. You're looking at 10 in your pocket, and we're not even fully developed on the e-commerce yet. Because I'm going to share one more story with you. I don't know if you guys noticed the name of the spreadsheet, 6 to 2K for 10K. I love the name of the spreadsheet. Can you teach 6 people how to make $2,000 a month? Can you teach 6 people how to send out enough text so they can get their 3? And they can teach those 3 how to send out enough text so they can get their 3. And when you teach those 9 how to send out enough text to get their 3, you've done your job and you've taught your 6. You're looking at over $10,000 a month. Now let me gravitate,
Hey,
because
Mike.
we're going to run out of time here. Yeah?
Yeah, I think you have one flaw, is the fact that this is going to duplicate and other people are going to get 6.
That's what, you know, I was talking to Bill, the guy that came in this afternoon. I told Bill the same thing. I said, now, you know what, Bill, you know the best part about the 6? The 6 friends that I have, they don't want to make $2,000 a month. They want 10, okay? When you start, you know, saying, hey, you know, it worked. I got my 6 guys to each do what I needed to do, and I'm making $10,000 a month. Now, what do you think your 6 are saying? And this thing just runs away from you. That's network marketing 101, and that's the business that we're in.
One of the things that they need to do, too, is don't focus down 6, 7, 8 levels deep. Don't look at those big numbers going, oh, my gosh, that'll never happen. Focus up the top. Get 6 and help them get their 3. Keep it that simple. Just keep it simple. And then it'll duplicate itself all the way out. Go ahead.
I got to share just a couple more numbers to you guys, because I get some blowback sometimes from people going, oh, you think 10 friends are going to find 10 friends, are going to find 10 friends through 9 generations. And I know I probably repeat myself now because I do this all day long. But I got to ask you this. If you're the average social network and you got 300 friends, what's to say half your friends don't like our social network? And let's see what half of your friends that like our social network looks like if that just duplicates through 2 generations. You want to take a guess here? Is that sick? That's half of your friends run over to our social network, they have fun with it, and only 1 out of 4 of them make a $40 purchase a month. But they also share our social network with their 300 friends, and half of their 300 friends like our social network. Do you see what that did to that income? It went from $1,000 to $2,200 a month. I could throw any kind of figures in here that would absolutely blow you away. What if it was 15 friends? What if it was 15 friends and you went just 4 generations deep? You want to see something really sick? I could do this all day long. If you go 4 generations deep on 10 friends, what's to say that if you have 2,000 connections and you have some other friends of yours that are IG3 qualified and they're going to have 2, what if your 3 on your front line are IG3K qualified? Do you know how many friends you're going to have connected to you? That's your 2,000 plus your 3 guys each get 2,000, or 3 gals each get 2,000. You got a whole bunch of people get connected to you. Watch what this $1,000 does when 20 of your friends invite 20 friends who invite 20 friends who invite 20 friends, just 4 generations deep. Are you ready? Now, I got to tell you, Lawrence, I don't know if Lawrence is on the call tonight. Sometimes he sneaks in here anonymously. But I'll tell you, Lawrence Sowell, our CEO, has told me from day one that, Mike, the lion's share of the money that's going to be made in this business is those that go out and build a social network. People that join for free and fall in love with our social network, use it to save money, buying what they were going to buy anyway, and then get paid an additional commission when they share that with their friends and they buy. And that's going to be the biggest income stream. 20 friends that find 20 friends that find 20 friends, not 9 generations deep. How about 4? For $16,000 a month, somebody say, OMG. And then let me blow this out of the water and say, what happens if this is $2 million? What if that Terry Bradshaw show just goes off the hook? Do you see your matrix starting to fill? And I got to get back. I got to end with this because we got to get out of here, Ron. But you did the simple thing. Ron said it perfectly. You started with 3, and you didn't go 9 generations deep. You just focused on your 3 and helped them get their 9. And then you focused on those 9 and helped them each get 3. And that's all you did. With 2 million viral installs from the TV show, and if there's only 500 people that are IG3K qualified, because some people just aren't figuring this out, and that's all there are, 4,000 people go to you at 2% conversion rate, and 13 people are IG3K qualified in your downline. I don't know about you guys, but that's you know, if we can go back here and throw maybe that figure in there, I don't know, there's $3,000 a month. So the number that I focus on right here, you guys, is this. You guys should do the same thing. How many people do I have that are IG3K qualified? You want your income to explode? You do the same thing. You help people that you bring into this business. Do not abandon them. Do not ignore them. Don't be afraid to talk to them. Send them the text. Send them back to the webinar. The people that haven't seen the webinar lately, they need to get back to the webinar. They need to get re-engaged, and you need to help your people get IG3K qualified before that thing fills up. Because I'm telling you, mark my words, we got some guys going to the Philippines, and they say they can fill it up all by themselves. How many people are you going to get IG3K qualified before that fills up? And I say we better all strap our boots on and get busy and get rolling on this. You want as many as you can.
That's exactly, you know, and we've been analyzing this and looking at it and going, okay, you know, what is it that the people in the field are needing? You guys needed this. You needed us to talk more about the money. We see it. We knew what was able to be made because we crunched the numbers, and we made the assumption that people in the field were doing the same thing. We're going to help you with that. This spreadsheet right here will be in your guys' hands. We're going to put it in the back office tomorrow. All right? So with that, guys, get back. If you're not already started with us, get back in touch with the person who invited you to this webinar. Get the replicated link and get started with us tonight. With that, Mike, thank you so much for coming out. Brad, Martin, Regan, thank you guys for helping answer questions in the background. And everyone, have a great night. Thank you.